From the Southwest Network of Radio Nigeria, check the time from the studios, 2 o'clock.
Good afternoon and a warm welcome to the first edition of the World Today for the week. It is a Southwest Network program of Radio Nigeria, Ibadan's own station, comprising news and feature. In the lineup, House of Reps approves extension of 2025 capital budget. Edo State Governor condemns kidnapping. On the foreign scene, Cambodian opposition politician appeals conviction. Norwegian crown princess's son gets 4 years jail term for rape. Heart of the Matter is on caring for the elderly as the Elder Abuse Awareness Day is marked, while the feature is on the chicken. My name is Emilia Ojimudi and I'm reading with
Dayo Adenuga, good afternoon. You can also listen to us on live stream at www.radionigeriaibanda.gov.ng or watch us live on Facebook at BFM 935. In this rainy season, avoid dumping of refuse in waterways. And now to the stories. The House of Representatives has approved extension of the implementation of capital component of the 2025 budget from June 30, 2026 to September 30, 2026. Leader of the House, Julius Ihavere, led the debate on the general principles of the bill seeking to extend the lifespan of the capital expenditure of the 2025 budget. She noted that substantial funds released to ministries, departments, and agencies remained unspent due to administrative bottlenecks, procurement delays, and implementation challenges. He added that the extended window aims to prevent the abandonment of critical infrastructure projects across the country, allow time for ongoing projects to be finished, and settle outstanding obligations.
And sustain constitutional rule since 1999, many Nigerians continue to assess successive administrations based on their ability to address pressing socio-economic challenges and improve citizens' welfare. And still in commemoration of the Democracy Day, Radio Nigeria correspondent Michael Ogundari examines public perceptions of democratic governance and the impact of government policies under the present administration. His report.
Democracy is often described as government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The system is widely regarded as the most acceptable form of governance because it provides citizens with opportunities to participate in the affairs of their country through elected representatives and periodic elections. Nigeria returned to civilian rule on May 29, 1999, following several years of military administration, an event that was greeted with widespread enthusiasm across the country. Recognizing the significance of the transition, former President Olusegun Obasanjo declared May 29 as Democracy Day, with the first official commemoration held in the year 2000. However, in 2018, former President Muhammadu Buhari moved the observance to June 12 in honor of late Chief MKO Abiola, widely believed to have won the annual June 12, 1993 presidential election, regarded by many as Nigeria's freest and fairest poll. About 3 decades after the restoration of civilian rule, discussion continues over the extent to which citizens have benefited from the democratic system, particularly under the current administration of President Bola Tinubu. One of those who shared his view is a political analyst Professor Christopher Oluwadare.
We have had increased political participation from 1999 to the increased participation of the youth, the women also in governance. In the area of social services, healthcare development, educational development, I give it to government, though we have not gotten even to where we ought to be. But they have tried. Look at the NEL fund. Government has given opportunity for indigent students. Talk about economic returns, mass unemployment and insecurity. We can say it clearly. Government is not doing enough.
Also, an Ado-Ekiti-based legal practitioner, Akogotai Oguntayo, said the present administration had made effort to address some of the country's challenges despite prevailing economic difficulties.
The president has tried to some extent, especially when you talk of education. Unlike in the past, that we have crises rocking various higher institutions, where ASU we down to, that I'm not sure we've had one since he came on board 3 years ago. There was a time I even read that he has offset our IMF debt, but people complain that yes, it's borrowing money and so on. We have challenges, especially the area of security is really disturbing. It has really rubbished a lot of things that is being done by the president. I want to implore Nigerians to be patient.
On his part, a public affairs analyst, Dr. Gbenga Adesunloro, expressed the opinion that many Nigerians are yet to fully experience the expected benefits of democratic governance under the current administration.
Looking at the journey of where we are as a democratic nation, it's really unfortunate that we are where we are today. But it's rather unfortunate. When we move into this democracy, we came with beautiful enthusiasm. But along the line, we are now surprised about what we are seeing today.
Dr. Adesunloro further highlighted measures he believes could improve governance outcomes and make government policies more impactful on the lives of citizens.
Democracy in itself as a model is good, but those practicing democracy have mismanaged the system. And until we do true constitutional review that take powers and paraphernalia of office from this public office holder, that is when we are going to get it right. So we must demand as citizens, if we want this freedom and what is associated with democracy to get to us, to demand that the powers and the paraphernalia of office, so those few of them who are holding public offices as elected representatives, must be reduced.
While the respondents expressed different opinions on the performance of the present administration, they agree that the true value of democracy lie in its ability to positively affect the lives of the people and promote inclusive growth. They maintain that greater investment in critical sectors, improved public service, and responsive policies will strengthen public trust in government and enhance national development. The respondent also stressed the need for political leaders to emerge through credible electoral processes and remain accountable to the electorate, noting that such measures are essential to democratic consolidation. As Nigeria commemorates another Democracy Day, the occasion offers an opportunity to reflect on the country's democratic journey and the collective responsibility required to sustain its gain. From Ado-Ekiti, I am Michael Ogunari, reporting for Radio Nigeria.
Similarly, the consolidation of democratic governance, improved public welfare, and stronger institutions have been identified as critical factors needed to sustain Nigeria's democratic journey and accelerate national development. Many Nigerians believe that the dividends of democracy can only be fully realized when government at all levels prioritize accountability, security, infrastructure, and policies that directly improve the lives of citizens. Against the backdrop of the country's 27th anniversary of uninterrupted democratic rule, some respondents who spoke with Adebola Ajayi in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, said strengthening these key areas would further safeguard Nigeria's democracy and position the nation for greater progress.
Nigeria's democracy, which began in 1999, remains one of the longest periods of uninterrupted civilian rule in the nation's history. Over the years, the democratic system has expanded opportunities for political participation, strengthened institutions, and supported socioeconomic growth, while also enhancing the country's profile within the international community. They noted that addressing existing challenges will further strengthen public confidence in public institutions and the democratic process. Against this backdrop, some respondents in Abeokuta advocated proactive measures capable of deepening democratic values and promoting sustainable development in the years ahead. A public affairs analyst, Alhaji Kamaldeen Akitunde, called for an end to the internal crises that often affect political parties ahead of elections, noting that such disputes could weaken public trust in the electoral process. According to him, unresolved disagreements within political parties have contributed to voter apathy as many citizens become disillusioned with the system.
Political actors must first of all start with themselves. It is important for them to ensure internal democracy.
In his contribution, an entrepreneur, Mr. Wale John, stressed the need for government at all levels to provide essential social amenities, including motorable roads, stable electricity supply, quality education, and accessible health care services. Mr. John maintained that when citizens experienced tangible improvements in their living condition, they were more likely to participate actively in civic affairs and contribute meaningfully to national growth.
It is time for National Orientation Agency to start their work, promoting activities that bring unity.
Also speaking, some youths, including Boluwatife Adebayo, Joy Olamide, and Ebele Augustine, called for an urgent overhaul of the nation's security architecture to tackle kidnapping and other criminal activities threatening lives and property across the country.
They should provide more job securities for youths coming out of the universities, and they should make the country safe for everyone to move around.
They should fulfill their promises, create more opportunities for youth to work.
Fair and fair election should be done. It's not somewhere you force yourself into. It's we the people that will choose for you.
They observe that a secured environment will encourage investment, boost productivity, and create opportunities for economic expansion, thereby improving the well-being of the people. On his part, the national president of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, CDHR, Comrade Yinka Folarin, emphasized the need for true federalism and comprehensive electoral reforms. Comrade Folarin explained that such reforms will strengthen democratic institutions, safeguard fundamental rights, encourage wider political participation, and bring governance closer to the people.
I'll give power to the local government, the government at the grassroots. Let people feel the impact of good governance. Nigeria must evolve, must leave no one behind in the governance of their own country.
Comrade Folarin further noted that good governance and sustainable development required collective responsibility, urging Nigerians to remain patriotic and continue to play active watchdog roles by demanding transparency, accountability, and responsiveness from the elected officials. Other respondents also appealed to Nigerians to participate actively in the electoral process, obey the rule of law, and fulfill their civic obligations, including the prompt payment of taxes and levies. The respondents expressed optimism that with stronger institutions, responsible leadership, and active citizen participation, Nigeria's democracy will continue to grow and serve as a foundation for lasting prosperity. In Abeokuta, Adebola Ajayi, Radio Nigeria.
And still talking democracy, infrastructure remains one of the most important pillars of national development, providing the foundation for economic growth, social progress, and improved living standards. From roads and bridges to power supply, healthcare facilities, and educational institutions, quality infrastructure enhances access to essential services, stimulates investment, and supports productive activities across communities. Attention is once again focused on the extent to which democratic governance has translated into tangible infrastructure development, with our correspondent Oluwakayode Banjo examining the achievements, prospects, and public expectations under the administration of President Bola Tinubu.
In his inauguration speech on 29 May 2023, President Bola Tinubu declared the removal of fuel subsidy and pledged that the savings would be redirected towards critical sectors, including infrastructure, healthcare, education, and job creation. In the 2024 budget, the federal government allocated 1.32 trillion naira to infrastructure, representing about 5% of the total 27.5 trillion naira budget. The allocation rose significantly to 4.06 trillion naira in the 2025 budget, before declining slightly to 3.58 trillion naira in this year's appropriation. Several major projects have since been initiated or accelerated by the administration, including the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Sokoto-Badagry Super Highway, Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Expressway, Abuja-Lokoja Benin Road, Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway, and the Benin-Asaba Super Highway. Residents of Ibadan, Oyo State, gave varying assessments of the administration's performance in the sector.
I think it's not just balance. There are improvements about some things, but Rome was not built in a day.
Everything is zero.
A public affairs analyst, Mr. Henry Ode, said available evidence suggested that the present administration had placed considerable emphasis on infrastructure development across the country. He, however, maintained that progress should not be measured solely by the number of projects initiated, but by their completion and the direct benefits they deliver to citizens.
Infrastructural development is often judged not only by the number of projects announced, but also by their completion, their accessibility, and direct impact on the citizens on the basis of their day-to-day lives.
Mr. Ode expressed the view that Nigeria still faced a significant infrastructure deficit and called for a more holistic approach that takes into account the country's growing population and development needs. He also urged the federal government to accord greater priority to power infrastructure, describing it as critical to sustainable economic growth and industrial development.
Government must pay greater attention to power infrastructure because while roads and railways are important, many economists actually agree that reliable electricity would have the single greatest impact on productivity, investment, and employment.
Mr. Ode further stressed the need for transparency and accountability, saying citizens should be able to track the cost, timeliness, and progress of ongoing projects. He added that beyond providing infrastructure, adequate maintenance must remain a priority to ensure durability, efficiency, and long-term value for public investments. From Ibadan, Oluwakayode Banjo, Radio Nigeria.
This is The World Today, the stories that made the headlines. House of Reps has approved extension of 2025 capital budget. Edo State Governor condemned kidnapping. Still to come, Cambodian opposition politician appeals conviction. Norwegian Crown Princess son gets 4 years jail term for rape. Stay with us, don't go away. Glad to know you're still there. Now to the rest of the stories. Oyo State government has declared tomorrow a work-free day to commemorate the Islamic year Hijrah 1448 AH. The statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Musibao Babatunde, says the declaration is aimed at enabling Muslims in the state to celebrate the commencement of the new Islamic calendar year and engage in prayers for peace, unity, and progress of Oyo State and Nigeria. The state government congratulated Muslims on witnessing another Islamic New Year and urged them to reflect on the lessons of Hijrah, which symbolize sacrifice, perseverance, faith, and devotion to God. Public servants and workers in the state-owned establishment are expected to observe the work-free day, while essential service providers are advised to continue rendering their duties as requested.
And now to Edo State, the governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, has condemned the kidnapping reported at the vegetable market along Airport Road in Benin City, the state capital, describing the incident as unacceptable and a direct attack on innocent residents. In response, the governor has directed the Commissioner of Police in the state to launch an immediate and coordinated investigation aimed at securing the safe rescue of the victims and apprehend those responsible for the attack. Meanwhile, Governor Okpebholo has called on residents of Benin City and other parts of the state to remain vigilant and promptly report any suspicious movement or activities to the nearest police station, noting that timely information would aid ongoing security operations. The governor reaffirmed his administration's commitment to protecting lives and property, assuring residents that efforts would continue until those behind the kidnapping are arrested and brought to justice.
The National Youth Service Corps NYSC has sworn in 3,938 corps members of the 2026 batch B Stream 1 deployed to Oyo State for their mandatory national service. The swearing-in ceremony oath was administered on the court members by the Chief Judge Justice Iyabo Yerima, represented by Justice Muniru Olagunju, on the NYC Permanent Orientation Camp in Iseyin local government area of the state. Speaking at the event, Governor Seyi Makinde, represented by the Commissioner for Youth and Sport Development, Alhaja Wasilat Adegoke, declared the orientation course open and also called on the corps members to see themselves as agents of positive change and national integration. Earlier, the NYC State Coordinator, Oyo State, Mr. Kayode Ola Peters, congratulated the corps members on completion of their higher education and qualifying for mobilization. He explained that the orientation course would expose them to programs such as military drills, manual war activities, leadership training, language studies, entrepreneurship lectures, and sport. The NYC scheme was established in 1973 with a view to promoting national unity and integration.
Journalists have been tasked on fact-checking, verification of reportage before dissemination to the public. The facilitator, who is an editor of Nigerian Tribune, Dr. Taiwo Adisa, made the call at the ongoing interventional seminar on responsible reporting in the era of insecurity and fake news, organized by the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ Oyo State Council, held at the Dapo Adirogba Hall, NUJ Press Center, Iyagonko, Ibadan. Dr. Adisa pointed out that it is imperative to get information from security personnel on vital issues before dissemination. He also charged journalists to challenge government to live up to expectations.
The Association of Persons with Albinism have called for increased government intervention, improved welfare packages, and greater social inclusion for persons living with albinism. Correspondent Olufisoye Adenita, who spoke with representatives of the association in Akure, reports that the group called for adequate attention and support from government to foster inclusion in every aspect. The report is presented from our studio.
In an interview with one of the women advocates and an albino, Mrs. Busayo Ademeko highlighted the numerous challenges faced by persons with albinism, to include discrimination, stigmatization, limited access to healthcare services, unemployment, and inadequate protection from the harmful effects of prolonged exposure to sunlight. Mrs. Ademeko noted that many persons with albinism continue to experience social exclusion and misconceptions about their condition, which often affects their self-esteem, educational opportunities, and economic well-being. According to her, albinism is a genetic condition and not a curse or spiritual afflictions, as wrongly perceived in some communities. She stressed the need for sustained public alignment campaigns to combat harmful stereotypes and promote acceptance of persons with albinism in the society. She called on government at all levels to introduce targeted welfare programs that would address the unique needs of persons with albinism, particularly in the areas of healthcare, education, employment, and social protection. Also speaking, the Ondo State Chairman, Association of Persons with Albinism, Mr. Ayodele Fagrola, urged policy makers to prioritize the inclusion of persons with albinism in government programs designed for persons with disabilities and other vulnerable groups.
We have been agitating about this thing that person with albinism, we can't read fast. They should be giving us extra time during the exam period.
He advocated the provision of free or subsidized sunscreen lotions, routine medical screenings, educational scholarships, and employment opportunities to enhance the quality of life of persons with albinism.
I will use this medium to plead for persons with albinism. We are not a ghost. We are moving be like you. Give us job. Give us the opportunity.
Mr. Fagrola further called on employers, educational institutions, religious bodies, and community leaders to create supportive environments where persons with albinism can thrive without fear of discrimination or exclusion. Speaking on the relevance of the day, the Executive Director, Kids and Teens Resources Center, Akure, Mrs. Folashade Bamigboye, emphasized the observance of International Albinism Awareness Day serves as an opportunity to celebrate the resilience, talents, and contributions of persons with albinism while drawing attention to the challenges they continue to face. She advocated greater awareness, policy support, and collective actions for persons with albinism to enjoy equal rights, dignity, and opportunities in the society.
All right, before we go to the foreign scene, that was a report from Adifisoye Yes, what's the surname?
Olaitan.
Yes, Olaitan. Now, to the foreign scene, an outspoken Cambodian opposition politician, Rong Chun, has asked the country's highest court to overturn his 4-year jail term to cause social unrest. The Power Party advisor was convicted of incitement offence last year, sentenced to prison and banned from voting and holding any office.
Marius Høiby, the son of Norway's crown princess Mette Marit, has been sentenced to 4 years in prison after being convicted on 2 counts of rape by the Oslo District Court. The 29-year-old, who has been at the center of a high-profile criminal case in Norway, was found guilty of raping 2 women but was acquitted of 2 other rape charges.
Let's now bring you Heart of the Matter, which is on caring for the elderly, as the Elder Abuse Awareness Day is marked. It is written by an intern from the Polytechnic, Imesile, Ocean State. Imesile, Ocean State, Temitayo Ayodele.
In the words of former South African President Nelson Mandela, a society that does not value its older people denies its roots and endangers its future. This aptly describes the position and prestige elders in the society should be accorded by their family and the community at large. What obtains now is the abuse of elders, which can lead to serious physical abuse, such as beating, pushing, or causing bodily harm, while others experience emotional or psychological abuse through insults, threats, humiliation, or isolation, and have long-term psychological consequences. Many are victims of financial abuse, where their money, pensions, property, or assets are taken without consent. Some are subjected to neglect, while they are denied proper food, health care, shelter, or attention. In some cases, elderly persons also experience sexual abuse and abandonment by family members or caregivers. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), about 1 in people who are 60 years and older experienced some form of abuse in community settings. The organization noted that abuse of older people is predicted to increase as many countries are experiencing rapidly aging populations. To bring the plight the elders go through, World Elder Abuse Awareness Day is observed every 15th of June to stop the mistreatment of older adults. The day serves as a reminder that elderly people deserve dignity, respect, protection, and care. It also encourages governments, organizations, families, and communities to take action against all forms of abuse directed at older adults. The observance was initiated in 2006 by the International Network for the Prevention of Elder Abuse in collaboration with the World Health Organization and was later officially recognized by the United Nations through a General Assembly resolution in 2011. The theme for this year's day is Beyond Awareness, Making Elder Abuse Prevention Work, emphasizes the need to move beyond discussions and awareness campaigns by implementing practical measures that prevent abuse and protect older persons. It is heartwarming that the federal government established the Center for Nigerian Senior Citizens to cater for the needs of the elderly who face different forms of abuse, including emotional or psychological, physical, sexual, financial neglect, and discrimination. Governments need to go a step further by providing social welfare support, strengthen healthcare services, and create awareness campaigns that educate citizens about the rights.
That script on caring for the elderly as the Elder Abuse Awareness Day is marked was written by an intern from the Polytechnic in Mesile, in Osun State, Temitayo Ayodele, and read by Olubukola Enimola.
To end the world news on Premier FM 93.5 FM, the top stories again. House of Reps has approved extension of 2025 capital budget. Edo State Governor condemned kidnapping. Cambodian opposition politician appealed conviction, plus Norwegian Crown Prince's son got 4 years jail time for rape.
And that's it on the world today. Join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of the program. It was edited by Mudupe Toba. I'm Emilia Ojimudia, thanking you for your time, and from my colleague
Dayo Adinga. Thank you for listening. We now link up with our network studios in Abuja for the next program.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people.